What's up, everyone, and good morning. This is Katelyn, and it's pretty gloomy outside today, which, So today is like week 5 or 6 of me working from home as a student and as a researcher in a PhD program, and gotta say, it's quite interesting. I'm getting through it, and I'm finally at a routine now, even though there's like 2 weeks left in the semester, so if you guys want to see everything that I do in the course of a day, keep on watching. As a researcher, yes, classes are finished within a couple of weeks, but your work doesn't stop. As a requirement for my fellowship, I have to take summer classes. So I probably get like a 2 or 3 week break after finals week, and then I'm back in class doing the same thing over. The good thing is that my school system basically said that summer classes are 100% online as well. The interesting thing is what's going to happen after the summer, so that's also still up in the air. I'm basically going to be keeping the same schedule with different classes over the summer, which is cool. And I gotta admit, a lot of the summer classes, especially for PhD students or graduate students in general, are a lot harder just because it's an endurance race. So like, I got class Monday through Thursday from like 9 to 12 every day for the next 6 weeks. That's not feasible. Usually my classes are 2 days a week and an hour and 15 minutes apiece. So I just finished eating a great breakfast, and after I eat breakfast I always take my vitamins and supplements. That's something that I've always done even before COVID-19. A lot of people are now into it for immunity support, which is understandable and great, but you also want to be well informed of what you're putting in your body. So the vitamins are the concentrated fruits and vegetables and the heart health omega. The reason why this brand is the brand that I chose for those vitamins is because they're super pure and they don't have any bad chemicals. Because of my allergies, I definitely have to pay attention to what's inside, more so with what the binders are and potential fillers that don't have any purpose, and these are the only vitamins that do that. They're also the only vitamins that are really approved by major league sports teams like the NFL and the MLB for athletes, since they don't have any banned substances in them. And I've been taking these prior to COVID-19 just because of my overall health and my energy level. I definitely feel a lot better and have more mental clarity when I take them. I noticed that if I don't take my vitamins in a day, especially now since I'm working from home, my mind is pretty cloudy. With the water, it does taste like just plain water. However, it does have a lengthy purification process, but this process essentially stabilizes oxygen in the water, and then it enhances the oxygen that's already available in your body. So this is my desk. It's not fancy, but it gets the job done. That's the dog that goes under the desk. The first thing I do before I do work, of course, is check my emails. Since everything is remote, I've gotten a ridiculous amount per day. So I'll wake up to about 20, and I'll probably get between 20 and 30 more in the course of 8 hours. After I respond and read over the emails, I go ahead and start with my assignments. Of course, you start with what's due first, but sometimes what's due is not the easiest thing to complete. Before I start any of my work, I always look at what's listed here. This is my digital planner, and it's basically my to-do list for the day. As you can see, I have a couple of assignments that I need to do, and at the end of the day is when I have my only class of the day. So on here already are all of my classes, but by the end of today, I'll write down here what I need to do, and so on and so forth. The first thing on my to-do list was my Python assessments. This is an online class that is through DataCamp, offered at my institution. Instead of just waiting until everything was due, I decided to do everything on my own schedule. So I'm technically 2 weeks ahead of the class, and this was the end of the whole class. I like Python, but R is preferred. It's more intuitive, simpler syntax, and it made a lot more sense when I was going through everything. I'm mostly using coding for data processing in my research, but if I were to use it to do other things with the data, then I would still go with R. It was just so much easier to learn. I remember a lot of things, and I noticed that I was tripping up on my Python models because I still was thinking of it through the lens of someone using R. So I just finished some of my coding exercises. The other thing that I didn't show you guys is that I've been taking advantage of some free or heavily discounted coding classes, especially on Udemy and Coursera. I don't remember, but those have great classes. DataCamp has good ones as well, but the problem is if you don't have an academic license, you won't have access to a lot of the resources. But they're also doing like a year's worth subscription for $149 as opposed to you paying monthly. So those are great options to learn how to code. Right now I'm working on my term paper. My term paper is due next week, and it's 2 different parts. All of my term projects are 2 different parts. So the oral part, of course, making the PowerPoint presentation, and then the written part. I'm glad I didn't put any of them off until now. It's just now I have all of my thoughts written down and just trying to put everything together. My term projects, especially on the PhD level, are definitely experimental, meaning I ran an experiment, a mini experiment, and I'm coming up with the results, as opposed to synthesizing something that was given to me. I have to come up with a project to present within the topic of whatever we've gone over in class. As it's human factors and ergonomics and stuff like that, I'm able to be really flexible with how I want to approach the experiment. Now that I'm into the swing of doing work in school and research at home, I'm not really looking at my phone as often as I normally would be, which is great. I just have to look at it when my groups text me and stuff like that, since we're working on projects together. And I'm not on my MacBook. I have a Surface Book for school because of my fellowship. It's so much better as a school computer. The good thing about these term projects is that they don't have to be long as far as the written part, but the presentation for one of them is 15 minutes, which is pretty long for a 3-page paper. So I have to be really careful with what I submit to, especially with the different professors. And they've only gone harder because we're working remotely. And one of them even said that graduate students and doctoral students know how to work like this on the fly. Not all of us do. Typing on 2 different screens has saved so much time instead of going back and forth between windows. If I didn't have this other monitor, I would have it split screen on my laptop and just do it like that, because my notes are way too detailed for me just to keep going back and forth. I prefer to like copy, paste, edit, fill in the blanks and things of that nature when I'm typing up papers. My outlines are different than most people's outlines, so I'll definitely do that in a separate video. This is the presentation screen, and then this is how I take my notes. It's a specific app that I use, and then I'll export it as a PDF so I can go back and reference it. Makes it so much easier to take notes as opposed to writing down on paper and then trying to keep up with the paper. But the downside of this class is that the professor likes to ramble. So we'll be here for about 15 extra minutes. So then my class is just 6 to 7:30 p.m. No big deal. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go ahead and do that right now. There is a post about this laptop. I use the Surface Book 2 for everything school related. It was a laptop that I was able to choose with my fellowship, and trust me, it is a lifesaver. Everything is on here in one place. So it's the end of the day, and it looks like it never even rained. After my class, I had to stay after to ask my professor questions about the term paper just because they weren't really clear. Like I said before, everybody wants something different. We got through it because I definitely was interpreting it one way and the professor was meaning something else, so that was great that he stayed after. Great thing is Mondays are my chillest days, so tomorrow is a Tuesday. Tuesday is my most hectic day of the week. So many meetings, earlier class, but still the same objective, to take over the world. I'm just kidding, but the same objective is just to push through the semester. Honestly, it's been really interesting, especially with my research situation. It's not what I expected it to be. Thank y'all so much for watching. There's definitely going to be more content like this. Everybody, please be safe, stay well, share and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Have a good night. Say bye, Cole. Say bye. Say bye.